My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the 2021 remake of The Guilty. If you haven't seen The Guilty, it's a 2018, I want to say Danish film, and it's phenomenal. It is thrilling, it's intense, it's well made. Jacob Suthergreen's amazing in it, and it just leaves you with such an emotional impact by the end. I cannot recommend it enough. And this movie is a remake of that movie, and ever since I heard about this remake, I'm just like, I don't think it's necessarily. I don't like the trend of remaking foreign films in English. I just don't think there's any point. If you want to watch it, just watch it with the subtitles. They did this with Funny Games. The original is better. They did this with Let the Right One In, with Let Me In. I actually prefer Let Me In. And they've done it a bunch of other times, and this is the latest foreign film to English remake. And I just don't think any of these films need to be made. If you haven't seen the original and you hate subtitles, then fine, watch this movie. You'll really enjoy it because it's a great story with a really good performance by Jake Gyllenhaal. But if you've seen the original movie, there's nothing remotely new that this movie has to offer. Antoine Fuqua does a fine job directing this movie. Sorry, I totally mispronounced his last name. Antoine Fuqua? Is that it? Anyways, he does a fine job directing this movie. Like I say, Jake Gyllenhaal is really good, and the rest of the cast, even though you don't see them, Riley Keough, Ethan Hawke, who else is in this movie? Peter Sarsgaard, they do a good job. Bill Burr's in this movie for like 10 seconds, and as soon as I heard his voice, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely Bill Burr. But no one in this movie does a bad job. It's just, what's the point of it? It just feels like someone watched someone else's art and decided to replicate it to hit a more English-speaking audience. And when I see that, I'm just like, why? I don't think there's any artistry behind copying someone else's work. I just think it's lazy. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think this movie adds anything to the original. I don't think it does anything different to the original, which would have you going back to this one. Okay, a great remake that I love, which I guess is controversial, is the 2019 movie Child's Play. It's a remake of the 1988 movie Child's Play. They're very different movies, but the remake captures enough of what made the original one work, and it still feels like a totally different movie. And when they do that, I'm like, okay, fine, remake it. Let's see what they do with it. But when you just copy every scene, every plot point, just every single idea into the new one, it's just like, well, what's the point? I haven't seen these remakes, but The Omen did it back in 2006, and Psycho did it in 1998, I want to say, with Vince Vaughn. And when anybody talks about The Omen or Psycho, do they talk about the classic originals, or do they talk about the shot-for-shot remakes? They talk about the originals. This movie is not going to... No one who's seen the original is going to think about this movie. If I have to watch one again, I'll always choose the original. If you don't want to watch a movie with subtitles for some reason, I guess that's a thing. I guess people really just hate reading words at the bottom of the screen. I just never gotten the big hesitancy towards it, but it's a thing that exists. If you refuse to read words at the bottom of the screen, then watch this movie. You'll enjoy it. Otherwise, there's no other point to watch this movie. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Guilty a 5 out of 10. Like I said, it's well made, it's well acted, but there's no reason for it to exist. But are you guilty of having seen this movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.